Back with the 15th episode of Let's Begin Their series. A series where everyday game changers come and share their stories, and it is a place where you can learn from their struggles and apply it in your life so that you have some tips and tricks to follow if you are going through a similar struggle. And for that very purpose, our 15th everyday game changer for today is Seetu Chawla. Seetu is an empowerment coach. What do you mean by empowerment? Empowerment is something, it is about taking control of your own life by becoming self aware of your strengths and weaknesses and applying it in the right places so that you can drive your life on your own terms. And self empowerment helps you to take control of your life and move ahead to continue living. And that is what C2 does for her clients, as well as it is something that she has done for herself. But before I tell you anything about it, let us ask C2 to join us. And okay, hi C2.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing very fine and excited for this conversation. How are you?
I'm excited too. It's so nice to, share this platform with you, share my story, and listen what is yours.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. So, Seetu, I just gave a very brief explanation about who you are. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure, sure. Um, so basically, why I began coaching was because I went through transformation. I went
Uh-huh.
through this journey where I was empowered. We all are stuck at some point. I'm sure you agree with. But do
Absolutely.
we seek enough help? Do we reach out enough? We don't.
Mm.
So when I did that, and when I saw this phenomenal change that happened to me, I wanted to
Mm.
do it for others. I wanted
Wow.
everybody
Mm.
to, finally reach there where they want to be and not
Mhm.
waste years and years to kind of, end up at the same place. What are we
Absolutely.
supposed to do? We have one life, so let's
Mhm.
make it great, no?
Absolutely. We have one life and let's make it great. That is so beautifully put, Seetu. So, Seetu, like you mentioned, we all go through some struggles or some setbacks. So, what are
Mm-hmm.
some everyday challenges and everyday struggles that you go through in your life?
I think, just the entire sexist
Mm-hmm.
mentality that the world carries. I think that's
Mm,
so unfair. And why I work with women is they are not heard enough, they are not validated enough. And
absolutely.
just to give them this chance to blossom, why do we have to put labels on them? Hey, you are the
Mm,
caretaker. Hey, you are the mother. Hey, you are a dutiful wife or a daughter. And
mm,
especially in India, we face so much of it in the name of
mm,
misogyny, in the name of patriarchy, in the name of your primary role is to be a wife, your primary role is
mm,
to be a mother. Why are we not given that chance? And that is different from equality. Just
mm,
giving that chance without being asked. It is ours. It is rightfully ours. Men
it
don't
is.
have to ask, should I go for
Mm-hmm.
work? Men don't ask if they have to study. Men don't
Mm,
have that choice to be, marriage or childless. So why should women
mm-hmm.
have? So what I'm trying to, share here is we should make those choices for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, imagine if you have to make a decision for you,
Yeah.
okay,
Mm,
and that's independent of anybody's input. You don't have to go to your spouse. Yes, you share with them what your dreams are, but do you have to take permission? That's what we want to change.
mm. Absolutely. So your main concern around or the everyday struggles, challenges that you're facing is around
Hmm.
um,
Making
sexist
those
comments,
choices.
and yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have to make those choices. And why is it that we have to ask for permission? Why is
yeah,
it that we have to, why is it that we have to enforce these things that no, this is ours, or we have to constantly show our place that we deserve this? No, we don't have to
true.
prove it. It
We
is
don't.
already. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've explained it really well over here. Mm.
Thank you. So, what we are trying to do is we are trying to change the mindset. We are trying
Mm.
to change the self limiting beliefs that we have
Mm.
surrounded ourselves with. So, we are going to break those negative patterns and inculcate so much of self confidence along with self awareness.
Mm.
You see, if you are not aware of your life, your purposes, and what steps you want to take, what decisions you want to take, if you don't have clarity through awareness, you will be just running in circles, depleting
Mm.
your energies. So I feel, when I use this approach of mindfulness through meditation, calming exercise, and other interventions. So, what we do, we try to align our energies with the decisions we make, with the choices
Mhm.
we take. And
Mm.
that helps you in setting goals and then actions. And there you are, successful.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is so beautifully put. And what I'm hearing is that these are the challenges that you're facing, and what you do is you apply the aspect of self-awareness and align your energies to it so that you know
Totally.
you're heading in
Yeah.
the right direction. Okay. So with that, Seetu, I would like to understand what is that one challenge that you
hmm
have overcome or you are in the process of overcoming?
I think not believing in myself enough.
Mm. Mm.
That was my
Wow.
biggest challenge because we are so conditioned by peer groups, societies, that we don't challenge enough. We are in that comfort
Mm.
zone. We are sitting cozily. We are not pushing ourselves enough. We are not motivating ourselves enough. So, when
Mm.
you want to believe in yourself, you challenge and then you reinforce that belief. Say this affirmation: hey, I'm enough. I am
Mm.
powerful. I know I can do that. I will do that. So my biggest challenge was while getting validation from others, like, hey, do you believe me? Instead of asking, you ask yourself, do I believe myself? Every day when
Mm.
you wake up, these are the few positive things I think we should start our mornings with: gratitude, affirmations, and
Mm.
constantly reinforcing this, articulating your, core beliefs, saying, I am enough. I can do this.
Mm.
And then when you're fearless, you are so, so fearless, so focused,
Mm.
nothing will stop you. You are that energy to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
that's what
Seetu,
self-empowerment means.
and you are giving me that vibe that you are feeling like you are at the stage of being fully empowered as well, because there is a
I'm still
sense of
learning.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a sense of calm in your voice and how you're conducting this particular live session. Like I can
Thank
feel the
you.
vibes, and I'm like, okay, yes, it's like very calm. I just wanted to reflect on that and share it with you
Mm-hmm.
here. But what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
about, that we reach a point where we stop challenging ourselves, we become comfortable, and then we start
Yeah.
seeking outside. Do you believe in me, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But just recognizing it for ourselves that yes, I am enough. I believe in
Yeah.
myself
True.
is
And,
empowering.
going back to my personal story, when I was, going through all this, I was so stuck. I didn't know where to start from. I
Mm,
knew I had to begin. I knew I wanted change. And there was this dire need of living a fulfilled life. That
mm,
thought, it just kept me, I think it kept me from sleeping well, it kept me, everything is so interconnected. Your mind, your energies, your body, everything is interconnected. If you don't feel well in the mind, you're not going to feel well in the body. You're not going to feel, and that we carry in all the areas of our life. That unwellness. I don't say, I don't use big words like it is, yeah, it is in the mind, so it is mental illness. But I refrain myself because we all are functional, we all have
mm.
potential. That's when I hired a life coach for myself, and I think that was the best I made for myself. It begins with it begins with
You very
starting to work
beautifully
on
put.
yourself.
Mm.
So tell me how was your What was your journey like? Why did you become a coach? What happened? What moved you to become a coach?
So even before I got to know something about coaching, like something like
Mm-hmm.
life coaching exists,
Yeah.
because it's not that there's not enough awareness about coaching in India,
Yeah, it's
to be honest.
unpopular.
And I was one of them. I was not aware about it. But
Mm-hmm.
even before that happened, I recognized we are surrounded by our loved ones. There's love everywhere, and still there are some people who are feeling alone, unheard,
Mm-hmm.
left out,
Mm-hmm.
misunderstood. For
Mm-hmm.
whatever reasons, there can be n number of reasons. I
Mm-hmm.
started noticing that people are more comfortable in opening up to strangers than
Mm-hmm.
to their loved ones or the people that they already trust. And
Yeah.
that is a gap. So that day, at the point I realized this, I really wanted to do something about it and I did not know how. But
Yeah.
eventually, over the years, I was led to transformational coaching because I was doing my master's in philosophy in
Mm-hmm.
Glasgow. And
Yeah.
around that time, I came across
Mm-hmm.
transformational coaching and what it is and things like that. That is when I took
Mm-hmm.
it up and I decided this looks like the correct medium to do something for people who feel alone, unheard, misunderstood, left
Right.
out, and create a safe space for them to open up and allow
Yeah,
them to
that
be
that's
vulnerable.
so important. Like you said, no, just creating that safe space where they're not being judged, where they're accepted. And mostly we don't bring our own biases in the
Mm,
coaching room.
yes,
So that's
very
such a
true.
beautiful space. Yeah. It allows you to be yourself. And then
It
when
does.
you are yourself, you start growing.
Absolutely. When you
Yeah.
are not yourself, you start growing because you're also on the receiving end and trying to understand what's
Yeah.
going on. And often, I don't know whether you have noticed or not, that we also
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot from our clients, our coaches,
Oh,
based on,
100%.
yeah, based on their realization,
100%.
the solutions that they come up with. It's
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful journey
It's
for us
such,
as coaches as
yeah.
well. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's such a, equal partnership. It's such a give and take. It's such a learning process to be a life
It
coach.
is.
We help them discover themselves. And then in return, there's so many nooks and corners we explore about ourselves.
Mm.
It's just such a beautiful medium, I feel. And I think the biggest reward for me is seeing how they transform, seeing how
Yeah,
they reach their goals. I think that cannot be compared. It's incomparable.
it
It's
is. It is
empowering. See,
totally.
that's why I say it's empowering. That enlightenment you get, which, I feel in last, say, since you were born, in so many years, were you ever given a chance to understand who you truly are,
Mm.
what you truly want, and where you truly want to be in future, next 4 years, 3 months even. So
Mm.
this having this clarity is, I think, of utmost important. It's so imperative. And
It is.
when, a life coach helps you kind of get that clarity of life purpose, your vision, kind of take away those blockages, helps you see clearly. Then, I think then moving forward in that journey where you want to be, it's easier.
Mm.
There will be challenges, yes. There definitely, life doesn't come without challenges. There'll
Yeah, it
definitely
would
be
become boring if
challenges.
there were no challenges.
Exactly. When we have challenges, we push ourselves. When we push ourselves,
Mm.
you're out of your comfort zone. So what happens, like I have done neuro life coaching, right? So I integrate these concepts of neuroscience. So what happens when we face a challenge? Immediately, our brain goes into threat response. And
Mm.
that kind of puts the stress levels up. And then we have 5 seconds to make that right decision. Am I going to back off because my brain is not responsible? So, those 5 seconds, you are going to listen to your heart. Only
Mm.
5 seconds to you are one. When I say you are one decision away to make the
Yeah.
right choices, that one decision is 5 seconds away. Just five.
Wow.
So, those 5 seconds are going to change your life forever. And
Mm.
there's no looking back. So you don't listen to your brain. You don't get stressed. You do something that will challenge you. Take a deep breath. Okay, I will find a solution to overcome my challenge. 5 seconds will change your life for good. We take
Wow.
we take hundreds of decisions every day. They're so subconscious. Should I
Mm.
have tea? Should I have coffee? Do I take a left? Do I take a right? Do I wear white? Do I wear black? So we make hundreds of decisions. But do you realize that you are making decision? No, because these decisions, they are comfortable in your brain,
Mm.
right? So your everything, your amygdala, everything is very comfortable, very smoothly sailing. But
Mm.
try taking one decision that will push you a little bit outside your comfort
Mm.
zone. That's when your brain wants to wear sneakers and run in opposite direction. You don't
Yeah.
let that, you don't do that. You don't let it do that. You're like, hey, I'm in control. I'm in control. I am empowered. I make my decisions. I know it's uncomfortable. That's how I grow. Change
Mm.
is never comfortable.
Absolutely.
It will be awkward, scary as hell. Change is scary. It's awkward. It's unpopular among your peer group,
Hmm.
but it is so worth it.
It is absolutely worth it. And picking up from that, Seetu, you mentioned that you wanted to give back to the community by becoming a coach because you saw how powerful coaching is. So,
Yes.
what was your motivation to join coaching, uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense to get coaching? What was that moment that made you realize that
Yeah,
you need
like
to
I
do
said,
something for
yeah,
your
I
health?
was so stuck in my life. I thought I don't have a purpose, and I was in a desperate need of change. I so wish I had begun my transformation journey a couple of years
Mm.
ago. But if you're
Mm.
not ready, you're not ready. Can I
Absolutely.
tell you today, Tanya, can I tell you and can I come to you? Can I do a discovery session? And can you sell it to me? You can't.
No,
If I am not ready, you can't. So when
absolutely.
I decided I was ready for a transformation, to be uncomfortable, to be awkward, to be questioned, hey, you don't
Mm.
need, it's such a taboo. It's so unpopular in India. When I made my mind, that is the first biggest decision towards my journey.
Mm.
And every day I learned so much. I learned I have strengths that I never saw. I was so busy with the humdrums of life, so busy with what's going on around me, so busy trying to keep everything smooth sailing. I was an entrepreneur before. Then I realized, what about me? Am I fulfilled?
Mm.
When I go to bed, is it a day? It was productive, yes. But am I fulfilled? The answer was always no. That
Mm.
left me so restless. So I basically started with my transformation, my empowerment, working on my energies, aligning them, and being very, I wanted to be professional, yes. I wanted to live life without feeling struggle here. I might
Mm.
struggle in other areas, but what I wanted was not feel struggle in my mind, not get stuck making decisions, not let negative patterns hinder my growth. We have such distorted realities, such flawed patterns we live with, self imposed or by society, but it's a very flawed, life that we live. I wanted to correct that.
Mhm.
And when I saw the power I was filled with, I wanted to give it back. And then
Mhm.
that inherited need to understand how human minds work. That's why I specialize into neuro life coaching. It was so,
Yeah.
I think for me, it was so amusing to understand this concepts of how our brain works, how our mind works, and mostly how we can rewire it. That was amusing. For me, that was the biggest, I think, a biggest learning, biggest takeaway, biggest value.
Mhm.
Yeah, how we can rewire our brain. I don't have to be 40 and think, oh, this is it. I don't didn't want it that fixed mindset. So yeah, that's how we started, using this neuroplasticity and other concepts of neuroscience. It's
Mm.
just mind blowing what is there outside. We don't explore enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
With that,
yeah,
I will just be sharing your number on the chat right now. If people
yeah,
want to
yeah,
get in touch with you,
yeah,
for the
definitely.
Ludo. Okay. And I am trying to pin this. I don't know how to pin it. Um,
Um,
okay, I've just mentioned, and I will post
okay,
it again if need
yeah,
be. Yeah.
yeah, we can
Okay.
post it on our IG video, no?
I will do that as well. I will be tagging you and I will enter that. So, Seetu, it is
Definitely.
so, like you have clearly mentioned, it is about, first of all, feeling ready for
Yeah,
change and
yeah.
knowing that, okay, I'm ready for change. I can challenge myself. I need to get out of this space that I am in right now. And
Hmm.
only when you decide for yourself can you go ahead to,
Right.
start changing your life.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that for your transformation, you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get out of that space, and
Yeah.
self-limiting belief was also something that you had to struggle through. So,
True.
what is it that you do on everyday basis, or what is it that you did to overcome these
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs, or every time you questioned your potentials?
Yeah, I think firstly, I started working on understanding who I am, getting
Hmm.
that awareness. Every day I woke up thinking, okay, what's the new awareness I'll bring to myself?
Hmm.
That was a major, I think the whole process was of self-discovery and
Mm-hmm.
understanding where my strengths are, where my potentials are, and how could I maximize. So my coach is such a beautiful person. I think I wouldn't have been here otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and it is, it is not this one time thing. I think life coaching, when people come to a life coach, they're investing in themselves and
Absolutely.
investing themselves for life. And it is, it's just like your car breakdowns. Do you throw it away? You
Mm-hmm.
don't. You get it fixed. You get the oils done. You change the batteries. Why don't we do it for ourselves? Why
Mm-hmm.
have we reached to a point where we take ourselves for granted? Nobody has to ever do that. I wish, we lived in a world where choosing yourself was not labeled being selfish, where
Yeah.
choosing yourself was self care. And if I don't take care of myself, if my cup is empty, how am I supposed to pour? How am I supposed to be a mother? How am I supposed to be a wife? How am I supposed to be a friend or a sister, or this multi roles that we play, multiple roles that we play? We have to
Hmm.
first fill our cup. We have to first
Absolutely.
understand I am important. First understand that, and choose the energies you want to interact with. We don't do that. It's like we have like these open exhibitions of our life. Anybody can come, stir your pot, and then you are left to understand. And we don't even understand most of the times what happened. Hey, why am I feeling anxious? Hey, why am I feeling so messed up? Why am
Hmm.
I screwing up my small decisions? Because we are allowing all these unwanted energies to mess with our energies. So
Hmm.
when you're choosing yourself, choose the energies you want to interact with. And if they don't align with your energies, you push them away. Make that choice. Make that choice every single day. Be conscious. I don't want to. A lot of people, this toxic positivity, I just don't understand this term. It's family, it's friends. Hey, this friend is calling me, but what does she do? She just whines, she rants, and I listen to her. I'm being a nice person, I'm a nice friend. I am taking all that toxicity. So what are you doing to yourself? Your energies are messed up. For next couple of minutes, you are thinking about her. You are not focusing on your work, and you allow that self. So when you take the power back from them, disconnect their calls. You don't have to be available always. Choose your energies. I would always say that empowerment is to begin to choose your energies.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Empowerment is about choosing your energies. And like you mentioned, it is, you need to start with self-awareness. It's an entire
every
process
day.
of self-discovery, getting
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
asking yourself, okay, what is it that I am going to become aware of today? What is
Right.
the new thing that I'm going to learn about myself today? And then
Yeah.
choosing myself and my own energy first, recognizing
True.
what is good for me, what is not good for me, and prioritizing it in a certain way. Not feeling that I'm being selfish,
Yeah.
instead, realizing that it is about self care. I'm just
Self-care.
choosing the right
True.
kind of energy that I want to interact with and
Yeah.
attract more and more of in my life.
I absolutely love how you're summarizing it. And
Thank you.
it is this
Mhm.
kind of reinforcement that we want. So how
Absolutely.
can you inculcate these positive reinforcements? You can join a group,
Hmm.
you can join this positive, they'll send you a affirmation, they'll send you a positive message. But if you just read it mindlessly, it doesn't hold any importance. Be mindful. You know,
Hmm.
mindfulness is such a beautiful journey. I think for me, mindfulness, self awareness, transformation, they all are correlated. And then
Hmm.
through that, transformation, through change, through habits, through goal setting, action plans. I think
Hmm.
that is what a life coach does. We are like a guide to take you where you are now,
Hmm.
maximize your potential. We all have strengths, but do we
Hmm.
maximize it enough? We don't. Do we challenge it enough? We don't. I think one must do that. Even if you want to save your energy, save your time, we have the skills, we have the strategies, we are trained to help them. We are trained professionally. So one must actually reach out, give yourself a chance, think of it as a self investment.
Hmm.
And instead
Absolutely.
of, instead of wasting years to, like I always say, it's not my regret, but if I had a magic wand and if I somebody asked me what's one thing you want to change, I would say I would begin to live this life a couple of years ago. What would you do? Let me ask you, what would you do
If I had a
if you had
magic
a
wand,
magic wand? Yeah, yeah, of course.
well, I got
I
to
got you
think about
thinking.
that.
Yeah, see, I think we should ask this to our audience. So, just asking you guys, what is one thing you want to change in your life if you had a magic wand? Please reply in comments and share us what your
Hmm.
dreams are.
Yeah, please do. I think I would say if I had a magic wand, I would have loved to be more confident and believe in myself more a couple of years ago. Because if I
Self
had that, I would
empowerment.
have, yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been really different at the moment. I'm very happy where
Hmm.
I am placed right now, but
Hmm.
with this, the current confidence, current self-awareness, things
Hmm.
would have been a lot more different. So absolutely.
Yeah, true. You feel so strong, so
Mm.
powerful, where challenges don't scare you enough. That's what you want. You don't want
Yeah,
to be
challenges
scared by the
excite you
challenges.
after a point.
Yeah, you just
It's
want to
like, yes, I'm gonna learn
take a
something new.
deep breath. Yeah, take a deep breath and just say, I'm powerful. Do that power
Mm.
pose. I do that. I do this power pose. My life coach taught me.
Mm.
Take a deep breath and do this power pose and say, I can handle life. I know how to handle life. I've come a long way and I can do this.
Absolutely.
And
We can
this
do this.
power pose, what popularized in Grey's Anatomy. A lot
Hmm.
of people, I'm sure, anybody, do you all know about power pose? Do you all know about how confident it makes you? Please reply in comments. Let us know what's coming up for you.
Yeah, there was a TED talk by Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the
Amy,
surname, and
yeah,
she
Amy,
talks
yeah,
about
yeah, she's
the
an
power
influencer.
pose.
Mm. Yeah, she spoke
She
about
says,
power
"Take
pose.
it till you make it."
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. With life coaches, you have to be authentic. You cannot fake it
Hmm. Yeah,
unless you are,
exactly.
yeah, unless
You
you are
need to
walking the
believe it.
talk. Yes. unless you're walking the talk, have faith in coaching.
Mm.
Have faith that we can partner up with you and take you where you want.
Mm.
Yeah, and in that process, you grow in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, you grow in leaps and bounds. Yes, there's no second guessing that. Absolutely.
It
So
shouldn't
one
be
of the things
also.
that you,
Mm-hmm.
Mm. One of the things that you mentioned that you did on everyday basis to overcome that
Mm-hmm.
challenge of,
Mm-hmm.
feeling not challenging yourself or feeling limited
Yeah.
or limiting your
Yeah.
belief was, uh, one, knowing that you need to change. Second,
Mm-hmm.
looking for the things that you're going to learn about yourself, being
Yes.
more self-aware about yourself and looking
Yeah.
for new things that you're going to become
True.
aware of.
Yeah.
What more do you do on everyday basis so that you stay aligned and stay self-aware and you're
Mm-hmm.
always working towards the better you?
Um, for me, I think I don't restrict myself thinking that mindfulness is only meditation. No.
Mm.
So that is one major, I think, change in perspective that came to me when I started my journey. Mindfulness is doing something where you are present in that moment. You could be driving a car, you could be cooking, you could be. So understand what those things are telling to you. Be in the present moment. Hey, I am driving. How do I feel? How's the speed? And am I doing, don't never question yourself. Okay, I'm feeling nice. I'm going to drive for another 10 minutes. This is the music I'm listening to. That's how the breeze is going, touching my face. So you be in that mindfulness, in that present moment, and receiving abundance, receiving your
Mm.
affirmations, manifesting it. So what happens there? No, you are not thinking about your negative thoughts. You have now shelved them. You are going to be in that present moment. Don't have these distractors. Distractors could be positive, negative, but you don't want distractors at all. Just be in that moment, I feel. Being in the present
Mm.
moment is so important. You don't have to be in a meditative pose or, you know, to begin with, I think you have to kind of, that's where what we are doing to begin with this being mindful. And when you're in that meditative pose, it's also important because your brain, you are not wired to do that. So it's a new habit you're starting. So when
Mm.
we do set a time, it's a cue, it's a reminder, and you do this, how do you help yourself? Let me see. Should I focus on my breath? So that
Mm.
you are giving your brain a cue. Okay, you are in a meditative pose. Yes, now let me focus on the breath. So there's a loop you are creating in your brain. And every day when you do it, you are repeating these loops, you're repeating
Mm.
these patterns. And then when they become habit, they're automatic. So
Absolutely.
you don't have to drive a car in meditative pose. No, you drive a car and it's automatic. You cook food, it's mindfulness comes automatically.
Mm.
Yeah, it's come automatically.
So, mindfulness is not about meditation as such. Mindfulness is about being
Yeah.
present in the moment and
Yeah.
focusing on your breath, or maybe just focusing on what are your senses telling you. What can you
Yeah.
hear? What
See
can you see? What
what
can you
is
feel?
yeah, what is universe? How is it talking to you? Talk to yourself. Tune in. It's basically tuning in without being distracted at all.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
and I think
that was the biggest takeaway.
one of the things that distracts us most is, like you mentioned, for example, when you're driving, okay, I'm going to drive for 10 minutes, but the thought at that very particular moment is not that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to drive for 10 minutes, but what
Mm-hmm.
after? We are
Yeah.
always thinking about what next, what is going to happen after that. That acts as a hindrance in our
Hmm.
mindfulness, a hindrance
True.
when we want to feel fully present.
True. So what you do, you take that distracting thought. Don't sometimes we just push it away, but it keeps bouncing back.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let me reach. You have to reframe it.
Mm.
Let me reach and then think what I have to do. So you
Absolutely.
see, you are owning it, you are processing it, and then you know what you are doing with that, what that process brings to you. I will deal with it in 10 minutes. So it's not going to come back.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
will
all
not be.
about reframing your mind. Yeah, your mindset, I think, not having a rigid mindset and just not letting these distractors create chaos in your mind. You don't want that. That
Mm.
is why most of us are not productive. We are so chaotic in our mind. We think it is normal to be chaotic. Being stressed. Hey, am I doing fine? Doubting yourself. What will my boss say? No, you are giving 100%.
Mm.
What results it brings. Don't be attached to your results. Let your results motivate you. Let them guide
Mhm.
you. Let them, you know, maximize your potential. Understand what your strengths are. But don't let it control you. Don't let
Mm.
your results
Absolutely.
and your goals, don't be attached to them. It's
What?
like such a long journey of getting a result. But we feel overwhelmed when we are attached to our results. Focus on the
That is
step that's in front of you. You don't have to look at the summit. Focus at first step in front of you and then the other step. That's what, that this is what I learned from mindfulness. How you focus on these steps without feeling overwhelmed. Making
true.
your goals, like it's Maslow's theory of hierarchy needs. It says that make your goals tiny. Don't
Mm.
focus on one big goal. Make them tiny, make them
Mhm.
achievable. Let them bring relevance to you. Let them be tangible. And that is how you grow, one step at a
Mhm.
time. When you
Absolutely.
invest in, these different areas, trying to balance them, and that's how you grow.
It's beautiful how you are explaining these things and just helping me and the audience present here to understand how you can
Hmm.
just break down your bigger goals into smaller goals, and then you can slowly and steadily work towards achieving it, because that is
Yeah,
also what mindfulness focuses on. Focus on what is in front of you right now and not
yeah,
what that thing will lead you to. It
yeah.
should be in the right.
True. Yeah,
So,
yeah, I
Seetu,
agree. Yeah.
mhm. So what is that one thing that you would like to share with the audience? Let's begin where?
Begin to question yourself. Do I
Mm.
believe myself enough?
Mm. Okay.
And don't um, don't be dependent on validations from other people. You are your own validation. So when you begin there, understanding and choosing yourself and not being scared of being labeled, that's where
Mhm.
empowerment comes. Take what is rightfully yours, your decisions, your choices, your life. Today, you are the only person you are going to spend most of your time with. So, what are you filling your cup with? Do you want to fill your cup with stress, other people's problem, their energies? That's not going to do any good. You will run in circles and you'll be so exhausted, you'll be so tired. How are you going to
Mm.
nurture yourself? So, choose you, believe in yourself, nurture and nourish yourself. When you nourish, you flourish. This is my
When
mantra.
you nourish, you flourish.
When
Absolutely.
when I nourish, I flourish. So few steps to begin with: awareness, 100%. Get that awareness going. It's
Mm.
like a it's like a pedal on your gas. That's where you get energy from.
Wow. Mm. That's amazing. So, start by being aware. Question yourself whether you believe yourself enough or not.
Yes,
And if the answer is that you are not believing in yourself enough, then start actively believing in yourself, maybe through
exactly.
self-awareness, through mindfulness, and choosing yourself every day. Because when you nourish, you flourish. So it's about
Exactly.
choosing yourself and knowing that it is not a selfish act and you don't need external validation. You
No,
just
no.
need yourself.
Yeah. It's not about how, it's about what I want for myself. How is
Mm.
a step later, but what do I want? I wake up this morning, what do I want? And then are the hows, and then the whys, and then the whens. Whens are when you start making goal. Whys are when you challenge yourself. You
Mm.
know, why should I challenge myself? Why do I need to do this? What will it bring to me? How do I do things differently? How do I begin? And then when is giving yourself a timeline, being accountable. That's what I say, with coaching, when you're accountable, I think people make more efforts when they're accountable. This
Yeah.
accountability pushes them to
Mm.
work on themselves. What if you were not to report to your boss? Will you do your job?
No.
Tell me. If I tell you, Tanya, if I tell you you have to submit this report next Friday at 2 p.m., are you going to, how efficient will you be?
Yeah, you'll have to be
How
like.
productive will you be?
Mm-mm.
No, that's why it's so important to, it's a very motivational thing to be accountable with your coach, with your life coach. I think that accountability helps you push yourself.
It does,
And of course,
absolutely.
when you do, success is yours. You will achieve your goal because you are accountable. If you're not accountable, you are going to procrastinate. You will
Mm.
just be lazy. You're not learning and living every day. Your fulfilled life is out of reach. So be accountable. Be accountable to yourself also. Or if you're joining a gym, be accountable to your friend. Hey, let's go tomorrow at 5 p.m. What's it? You will go
Mm.
because now you're motivated to meet your friend at the gym, right? If you had to go alone, you would say, I'll go tomorrow. You're procrastinating
Mm.
it, right? So
Mm.
accountability, I think, brings major transformation, I think so.
It does, it does. It is that something that gets you going between the coaching sessions, because coaching sessions are where you become aware about the things that you can
Yeah,
do, but in
true.
between the sessions is when you get time to become accountable and take actions and work on it to
Exactly.
allow the transformation to actually happen. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Being accountable is an important step
Mm.
in becoming, in
It
transforming
is,
your
yeah,
life.
very important.
Absolutely.
And most of us, we are not transformed, we just transition. And
Mm.
is transitioning enough? I'm asking you, Tanya, today, is transitioning enough? Would you like to be transformed or transition?
Of course, transformation is the key, and taking, like you mentioned in the conversation today, that taking it one day at a time, realizing what is the one step that I need to take right now
Yeah,
to move towards the
true.
transformation, because it doesn't happen in a day.
Right, right.
It takes time, it takes its own sweet time to reach there because you are in the process. When once
Yeah.
you've reached there, then when you reflect, you realize, okay, I have transformed. It's a
And it's
process.
measurable. It's a measurable success. You know what you were a couple of months ago and where are you now? And then the clarity of goals becomes so, I think it's become so encouraging that I know I took 6 months to reach here and I'm going to take another 6 months to reach there. So you see what
Mm.
happens to your clarity. When you begin, your clarity is fogged, right?
Mm.
You have a definition of a goal, right? So that is a clarity in itself, the definition of a goal, but it is fogged. And
Mm.
as you work, it gets clearer and clearer, and it is measurable because the actions, the goals are being set, the actions are being taken. And then when you achieve one goal, set yourself to another goal. Don't stop. Don't limit yourself, I feel.
Absolutely. Don't limit yourself and set yourself to goals so that and stay accountable so that you're moving ahead all the time. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Seetu. The entire
It was
conversation
my
has been
pleasure.
so uplifting and positive and very calm and soothing as well. In the entire conversation, I felt you were very composed while you were sharing your thoughts, and that
Thank you so
had
much.
an additional, yeah, impact on the whole conversation. How are you
Thank you.
feeling after joining today's or sharing your
I
thoughts with us
think
today?
it was great, I think just reaching out. And I know people who joined us. Let me just thank you so much for joining here today, taking that time off. I know it's your Sunday, you all want to chill, or don't want to do anything that doesn't require effort, it is your Sunday, and then tomorrow you are going back to work. I truly appreciate your time and taking this. I hope you have some takeaways from our conversation today. I hope I've done enough, and everybody who needs to hear this, you are enough. Take that first step towards empowerment, towards transformation. Reach out, and there's never a right time. You are ready now. You are ready today. Reach out. There are
Mm.
people who are professionally trained, like myself, Tanya, other life coaches. Take the phone, give them a call. It's a no obligation discovery call. See if we can help you. See if we can work together, and give yourself that one chance, those 5 seconds to make a decision.
Yeah, those 5 seconds. That is definitely my key takeaway.
Oh,
Because
wow.
by the
I
time
was
you
going to
choose the
ask you.
game, you are listening to your heart and you have that those 5 seconds to make a decision. So allow that to be in that space and then
Yeah.
choose. And that is my one of the
Five
major key
seconds
takeaways
of
from exam.
make it or break it. I call it like
Yes.
that.
Mm,
5 seconds of
absolutely.
make it, break it. Yeah. And when you want to make it, you will create it for it. You will create it for yourself.
Mm.
I hope a lot of people are benefiting by this. I hope they
Yeah,
do. I genuinely hope that they do. We all desire for a change. We all desire a fulfilled life. We all want happiness, joyous, and we all deserve it mostly. We
absolutely.
desire, but we deserve it. We are worth it. So I hope they benefit.
Maybe sharing your the crux of the
Hmm. Yeah,
conversation today in the caption as
yeah,
well. So a lot more
yeah,
people can continue to benefit. And
yeah,
thank you so much for
definitely.
joining us, Seetu,
Thank
and
you. And I
sharing
hope
your
this is
wisdom
also on the
and
IGTV, where,
it is. It is.
oh, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting me, Tanya. It was a
Thank
wonderful experience. Love sharing my story with you and everybody else who need to hear what it is to be empowered. So
you.
go for it. Go big. Go for it.
Go big.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be empowered and go big. There's no
With
stopping
the
you when
power
you're empowered.
pose. You remember the power pose. So let's do that.
Yes,
Let's
let's
take a
do it.
deep breath. Yeah, let's take one deep breath. And now, everybody, please join us. Feel empowered. How did that feel?
Feels very calming.
Powerful.
Yes, powerful indeed. Thank you
Perfect.
so
And
much,
let's
Seetu.
do this. Yeah, let's do this again. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We should
Thank you.
get back on this again. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so much more
I-
to share.
Yes, there is. We need to have a coaching conversation around coaching and how coaching can benefit as well. So let's schedule that definitely. Thank
Okay,
you so much,
bye
Seetu,
guys.
once
Thank you
again.
so much. And I'm inviting y'all for a free, no obligation discovery call. Let me know if I'm the coach you want to work with. Bye bye.
Yes.
Stay
Bye.
empowered.
Stay empowered. Absolutely. Thank you.